That is all, Mr. President.
Order business number 9, motions. Majority Leader McGilvray.
Mr. President, pursuant to S30-10 sub 5, I move that the senator from Senate District 20, that's Senator Vinton, be removed from the Ethics Committee and we replace that senator with the senator from Senate District 28, Senator Mandeville, pursuant to 30-10 sub 5. 1 day's notice is required for the body of the Senate to make this membership change. Accordingly, the debate and vote on this motion will occur on Tuesday, January 27th, 2025, Legislative Day 17.
Members, this is the notice, so we will be doing debate and voting tomorrow. This is the 1-day notice. Majority Leader McGilvray.
Mr. President, I move that pursuant to the Senate's authority under Article 5, Section 10, Sub 1 of the Montana Constitution, and in light of Legislative Audit Division's legal counsel's finding and conclusions contained in the hotline submission FY 25-0076, findings document dated January 24th, 2025, that is on your desks, I move that the Senate Ethics Committee be convened to investigate and make findings of fact and conclusions to determine whether the senator from Senate District 43, acting in his capacity as state senator, violated or potentially violated 1, the provisions of the Montana Code of Ethics, 2, the rules of the Montana Legislature, 3, the rules of the Senate, or any provision of law, administrative rule, or administrative guidelines or procedure. Upon completion of the Ethics Committee investigation and the production of findings of fact and conclusions, the committee shall make a report to the body of the Senate for the Senate to determine whether good cause is shown to expel or punish the senator from Senate District 43.
You've heard the motion. Is there discussion on the motion? Senator Esp.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members of the body, when I spoke to you a few Mondays ago on opening day, I said there's going to be some hard days up here. This is going to be one of those hard days, especially for me. And there's going to be some more of those hard days to come, but members, we're going to get through these things together. For the sake of this institution, for the sake of the legislative institution that remarkably so has endured since 1889. When the Montana voters elect their officials, regardless of branch or level or party, they expect that those officials make decisions with the highest integrity and honesty. It is Article 2 of our Montana Constitution that states, all political power is vested in and derived from the people. You, the people of Montana, put your trust in us as legislators to manage your state. It is our duty to these same people to call out allegations of waste, fraud, and abuse, to pinpoint the facts surrounding the allegations, and to hold accountable those shown to have abused their position. I stand here today in my 15th year as a Montana State Senator, saddened for the senators in this room today and for all those that wore this title before us. But to this very point, and as sad as it may be, the substantiated facts outlined in this memo on your desks demand that we hold an ethics committee meeting. Mr. President, I am in strong support of this motion.
Senator Glimm.
Thank you, Mr. President. In the beginning of this January session, Senate leadership was made aware of a contract that was signed by former Senate President Jason Ellsworth for approximately $170,000 of taxpayer money. The more this was looked into, the more the concern grew, and it was turned over to the Fraud, Waste, and Abuse Department in our Audit Division. This last Friday, the initial report of this incident was released by the legal representation in our Audit Division. You have a copy of that on your desk. They substantiated the facts on the first part of this investigation of a violation of procurement laws and quoted from this memorandum, actions taken by former Senate President Ellsworth constituted abuse of his position as Senate President and that a waste of state resources occurred. The people of Montana expect that we find and adjudicate corruption in state government. This issue needs to go to a hearing in our Ethics Committee. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Hertz.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd have to agree with my friend from Big Timber. It is a sad day here in the Montana Senate. The memo from the legislative auditor is on your desk. The memo concludes and states, there was and is no logical reason that the original contracts were bifurcated other than to unlawfully avoid oversight of those contracts. Our Constitution, in Article 5, Section 10, gives us the duty to regulate our own members with good cause. An ethics hearing is the best venue for more of the truth to surface, to investigate the matter further, involving all actors, and for the committee to provide a completed report back to the body for our action. Let's show the people of Montana that we're concerned with the integrity of our state government and hold this ethics hearing. What I'm hoping we'll see today on the floor is this motion passed with 50 positive votes, including the vote from the senator from Ravalli, so he can go to the Ethics Committee and explain what and why he did. Thank you, Mr. Chair, Mr. President.
President Pro Tem Bogner.
Mr. President, members of the body, Montana Code in 2-2-103, entitled Public Trust, Public Duty, states, quote, the holding of public office or employment is a public trust, created by the confidence that the electorate reposes in the integrity of judicial officers, legislators, and public employees. We, as the Montana Senate, take that public trust very seriously and must adhere to that law. It is our duty here as the Committee of the Whole to hold accountable every one of our members, regardless of party affiliation, regardless of role, within our institution that may have compromised that public trust, that public duty. Therefore, the appropriate response is to refer this case to the Senate Ethics Committee. So I ask you, the entire body, for your support in this motion. Thank you.
Minority Leader Flowers.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise today also in support of this motion. Government transparency and integrity is a core value for my caucus and for our constituents. Montanans expect that our government, and particularly their elected representatives, act in the interests of the people of the state with transparency and integrity. The allegations and the findings of the audit report are serious. They must be addressed. The Senate Ethics Committee is the proper place to investigate, debate, reach conclusions on the senator's conduct, and ultimately to recommend to us as a body how to address this issue. At the same time, we must remember the gravity of what we are embarking on. To discipline one of our own members is a serious responsibility and one that we must handle carefully, fairly, and with due process. I and my caucus are dedicated to making sure this matter is pursued in an unbiased manner and with the utmost integrity. Whatever conclusions the Ethics Committee reaches and whatever decision this body makes on this matter must be based on facts, not politics. For this reason, we think it is good for us all, but especially members of the Ethics Committee, to keep a level head and to watch our language on the floor, in the committee, and in the press. Turning this serious matter into just another political circus would be a disservice to us as a body and to our constituents. In a moment when we should be showing that we can rise above politics for the sake of accountability, failing to do so will just reinforce the people's worst assumptions about the political process. Our constituents sent us here to put them and their concerns first. They expect us to deliver solutions on property taxes, on health care, on affordable housing, and so many other urgent issues. I hope we can get to work on these important issues in the coming days. Thank you.
Senator Ellsworth.
Mr. President, members of the committee, I would agree. So this is an important thing. It needs to be taken care of. Certainly it's been a distraction in the press. We have work to do here. Citizens have asked us to come here and deal with their property tax issues, to deal with the many challenges that we're having as a state that are real. This is a distraction, and it needs to be taken care of quickly, efficiently, effectively, with no bias. So I am in full support of dealing with this. Thank you.
Members, we'll go to the board for the motion. All those in favor of the motion vote aye. Those opposed vote no. Secretary will record the vote.
Mr. President, 49 senators have voted aye.
The 49 voting yes and 0 voting no, the motion has passed. Majority Leader McGilvray.
Mr. President, I move to remove the senator from Senate District 43, Senator Ellsworth, from the Legislative Audit Committee, and replace that senator with the senator from Senate District 38, Senator Beard, pursuant to S. 3010 sub 5. 1 day's notice is required for the body of the Senate to make this membership change. Accordingly, the debate and vote on this motion will occur Tuesday, January 27th, 2025, Legislative Day 17. Mr. President.
Members, once again, this is under 30-10 temporary rules that we are under. This is the notice. We will have the vote and debate tomorrow. Without objection, we will go to our business number 12, announcement of committee meetings.